All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we have a lot to talk about. So if you are a Steelers fan or you enjoy NFL content in general and you end up liking this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are hitting 500 subscribers very soon. Thank you to all you guys who have subscribed already. And thank you to the future subscribers, man. So if you guys hadn't heard, Steelers fans and NFL fans alike, the salary cap for the 2024 NFL season will be $255 million per team. That's very splendid, as you can see down here if we scroll down. 2023 it was 224, and in 2024 it's up to 255 specifically for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a massive W because we were, a little bit lacking in the cap space. I'm kind of skipping time here, skipping things here. But we're up to 9 million with the new cap space. That is a thing now. We're up to 9 million. Now, of course, there was a move made today. We have released center Mason Cole. So T's and P's to Mason Cole. Peace out, Mason Cole. Was not a very good time at center. This last season, 2 seasons ago when he played, I feel like he didn't play that bad. Maybe I'm coming off, Kendrick Green or whatever playing, and so, it's just whoever playing is good. But I didn't think Mason played that bad 2 years ago. But this last season, it was pretty rough. Bad snaps, bad blocking, just usual shit low-key with our offensive line. And the talk all off season so far has been, all right, we need a center, and then we need another tackle, right? We prefer a right tackle so we can move Broderick Jones over to the left side. But at this point, I mean, he's playing good at right tackle. Maybe he stays there. I don't know. But just any tackle. But the main point was, man, we need a center, don't we? Like, Mason Cole is sending these balls to Narnia, bro. Like, what is going on? And typically, the Steelers, they're just like, we like Mason Cole, so we're keeping Mason Cole. Is he that bad, really? That's what the Steelers usually do. Now we know Omar Khan's in there at GM. This is now going to be year 2 or 3 for Omar Khan. This is going to be like year 2 for his full offseason, I believe. We got Arthur Smith. We got rid of Matt Canada and hired an outside offensive coordinator. There was a lot of talk all season, late last season, of like, man, the Steelers, they're dead. Same old Steelers. The standard is the standard. The standard is a winning record and not winning playoff games. We heard all the talk. Everybody heard the talk. And based on, I can only see what they're telling me in the moment. In the moment, it's seeming like some change. But last season, it felt like we were making changes and it felt like we were going to be good. But we still had Matt Canada, so that's my fault for being duped. Anywho, once again, T's and P's to Mason Cole. We'll talk in a little bit about either free agency in the draft or like what that means for the center position in general. Whether we're going to, target that in free agency or target that in the draft. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the cap going up, that absolutely, freed us from cap hell. We still have moves to make too. So this 9 million right here, to me, could potentially go up with moves like, unfortunately for Allen Robinson, getting rid of Allen Robinson. The cap number is 11 right here. It'll be about 2 million if we release him. And so we save about 8, right? Or 9. Yeah, I think we save about 9 million. So that's up to 18 million if we just do that. Also, I mean, we see Cam Hayward here. There's talks about his contract. Maybe we give that a restructure. Side note, guys, Cam Hayward was hurt last year, right? Like, he was hurt all season. What is it, 2 seasons prior? Like, this guy was the best end, like the best, one of the best defensive line players like in the league. Like, I see all this talk about, his contract is high, and like, it is, but literally until last season, and we're including injury, literally until last season, he was playing like the 16 million. He was playing like the number 1 or 2 defensive end in the league, and so Cam Hayward, like, I wouldn't say, we need to just pay cut, like, cut him or whatever, like some people are saying. But a restructure could happen. But up until last season when he got hurt, like he's been earning this contract to me. But there is talks about that and maybe restructuring Cam Hayward. But by default, maybe we won't get get rid of Allen Robinson. But the fact we cut Mason Cole, kind of like for cap reasons, like the fact we did that, and I don't think his cap was as crazy. It couldn't have been as much. And just Allen Robinson, if he was making, minimum, I wouldn't, be on here saying, all this stuff. But the fact that it's at 11 million and Deontay, who is significantly better at this point in his career, and however you feel about Deontay, that's you. But I would say Deontay is like significantly better. And Allen's only 4 million off of that. So, if we could get that down would be nice. But I think a full just kind of let him go is in order. And then once again, that brings us up to about 18 if we're going by this cap space, which we are because it's more. Looking more at the roster itself here, someone like Patrick Peterson, I think we're going to hold on to, maybe try him out at the safety position or something like that. We'll see about that. But just looking at other numbers here, like I feel like there is cap to make. Larry Ogunjobi even, I feel like it's kind of high. Funny enough, I said before the season that Larry Ogunjobi's cap hit was kind of high, and I expected that to kind of get redone, now at this point in life. But Larry Ogunjobi, I thought played pretty well. 13 million, as we've talked about, is still pretty high. And so maybe we do something with that. But just baseline, we have 18 because there's no way we're rolling into next year with Allen Robinson at 11. Pretty much 12. There's no way that's happening. Someone else too. We talked about Deontay earlier. 15. I think Deontay is a very good receiver. 15 is kind of high though. That's just me, and just because we have 30, 20, 21 here. Like if we didn't have these three here, Deontay was making 15, maybe it wouldn't be so big of a deal. But we don't have the most cap space, but we're definitely improving from where we once were. And then as I keep scrolling down here, there's like other kind of lower caps that like, maybe we do something with. Maybe we can free like 2 million here, 2 million here, 2 million here, something like that. But the big kahuna, the big kahunas, was like Chakuma and Mason Cole and Allen Robinson. And we've gotten rid of two of the three. Allen Robinson, we'll see what happens, brother. But just assuming, right? I'm assuming we do end up getting rid of Allen Robinson, and assuming we have up to 18 million in cap space, right? Now we're gonna cook. Now we're gonna go over to here, to the free agent rankings, because this has a projected This is also PFF, and they stole the Defensive Player of the Year from TJ Watt, mind you. So take this with a grain of salt. PFF, you guys still stink, but we're here. This is PFF, and they show like projected contracts, right? And they also, pretty cool. Also, too, they have a view thing. You guys see this? The view is like slim, medium, and then thick. Thick with 2 C's is crazy. Anyway, let's go slim. Let's see what happens if we go slow. Okay, slim is boring. Let's go thick. We'll go back to thick, and then let's start with center. Let's start with center since we got rid of Mason Cole. Now, obviously, we're looking at maybe Jackson Powers-Johnson in the draft, maybe Zach Frazier in the draft, maybe like Cedric Van Pran in the draft at center. At the same time that there are these free agents, keep in mind that there are, draft prospects as well. We look at Jackson Powers-Johnson, as I mentioned, maybe at 17, maybe he could fall to us now that we have a open center slot. Or we take a look over at PFF, we take a look at some of the free agents, like someone like Connor Williams. I have a friend at work, his name is Rick. Rick says he watches the video, so Rick, if you're here watching this video, big trust. Rick put me on to Connor Williams. He said this is a free agent center. He said he's pretty good. We take a look at the PFF made-up grades, and last year he was at an 86, man. It's the second-ranked center. It doesn't look like his snaps were, like the most. He must have gotten hurt or something. But, 78, 75. Mason Cole probably isn't there, and we don't want to use PFF grades. We don't want to, give them the most credit. But you guys kind of get my drift here. He's a pretty good center. He's the 37th ranked overall free agent. And for 7.5 million, we talked about, we got 18, 7 point. We could fit that. We could literally do this contract right now. Connor Williams, welcome to the Steelers. We could do this. Or, like I mentioned earlier, we could go to the draft, do the Steelers, just to see if maybe Jackson Powers-Johnson will fall in the first round here. Start draft. Also, this is probably going to be a longer video. I'm just realizing as I'm talking. Jackson Powers-Johnson actually going 15 to the Colts. And so you guys can see, maybe if we want to move up, because I'm sure he's going to be higher. Maybe if we want to move up, we can. I'll talk about some of these other positions in a second here, but Amarius Mims, if Jackson falls, maybe we go there. But if we want to move up and get the best center in the class, we could do that. Or if we want to go out and get a free agent like Connor Williams, we can do that. Or Andre James even for $3 million. Oh, Andre James, commanding a prettier penny than Connor Williams. I'm not quite sure of the age. They don't give the most. Date of birth 1997. That's 26.7 versus how old are you? You're 26. What's up with Andre James, man? He wants what? $2 million more than Connor Williams? That's crazy. And then, we can 4 years, 14. What the hell are you, brother? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know these centers, to be honest. The only reason I really know Connor is because, like I mentioned, my friend Rick from work, who's a Dolphins fan. And then also Aaron Brewer I've heard of just because he was a Tennessee Titans center. And I believe he played with, for at least a season, Arthur Smith. And so, maybe we look him. But like I mentioned, if we could even do this now. Like we don't even need to do the Allen Robinson thing. 9. Now another position of need. We're looking at corner on the thick rankings. And as you can see, Jalen Johnson is at 19.8 million. We talked about it. With Allen Robinson, we maybe can get up to 18. However, I still think that is like a little bit too high with the current things. Maybe if we can create more cap somewhere else, cool. 1 year and $20 million too, Jalen Johnson. Holy smokes, is that a good contract? We'll see if that actually happens. We look down here. L'Jarius Sneed, 3 year, 17 and a half. Low key could get L'Jarius Sneed. We don't get a center, but we get L'Jarius Sneed, and then we make the moves necessary in order to get Jackson Powers Johnson. To me, sounds good. Sounds pretty good. I'll take that. We look down at Kendall Fuller, 3 years, $13 million. Kendall Fuller, I believe, is relatively old. I don't want to say old, but 29. I feel like he's been in the league for a little bit. We look at these Mickey Mouse made up PFF grades, and 83, 76, 80. Kendall Fuller has been solid his whole career. Snead too has been solid, at least for this last season. Obviously, him and McDuffie kind of rolling out there for Kansas City was pretty big. Jalen Johnson, we talked about very early in the season. Jalen Johnson's been good. Chidobe Awuzie from the Bengals maybe is somebody. Stephon Gilmore maybe is somebody. Steven Nelson. Do we bring back Steven Nelson, man? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we have options at this point. We have options at this point. Like I said, the Allen Robinson thing, if we free up that cap, maybe we can target one of these guys and get Connor Williams, or maybe it's one or the other. Who knows? But low key, we could get L'Jarius Sneed, man. We really could get L'Jarius Sneed, and then kind of focus on center in the draft. Like, once again, Jackson Powers Johnson, he did end up going at 15 here. I wonder if here. Let me just take Amarius Mims, and then here we go. Analyze my draft. What did I get? What did I get on my draft? PFF. I got a C for drafting Amarius Mims. PFF, Pro Football Focus, ladies and gentlemen. But let's see if we can get him this time to fall. Sometimes he has fallen to the Steelers. Oh, there it is. See Jackson Powers Johnson falling 20 to the Steelers. We could do that and then call up L'Jarius Sneed and be like, yo, you want to play for the Steelers? And then boom, we got center and we got a corner. Why did this? Okay, it's great in the draft. I was gonna say, let me do one more now. Let me do like 3 rounds now. Enter the draft. If I hit start, and then Jackson Powers Johnson fell again, and this is gonna move so fucking fast. But if I just pause it here, just to do it. I'm gonna trade with the Carolina Panthers, first pick in the second round. Just to do it. If we want to get back up, let's say we're gonna trade our second this year and our second next year. That'll get us to 33. Which, is that a lot of assets? Low key it is. But for the potential cook, we're down here now. Everybody's fucking gone, of course. Because they don't show it when people are drafting. But Zach Frazier actually going to the Chiefs there. That's a very weird pick. PFF, man, you guys might stink. But anyways, okay, so we trade back up into the first round to get a tackle of some sort if we draft Jackson Powers Johnson, which, as you can see, we just did. So let's say we get Jordan Morgan, right? Wants maybe a lot of assets for Jordan Morgan specifically. Don't focus on the name specifically, but more on just like the urgency of it. More of just like the bada bing, boom, boom that we could potentially do if we just find it in our hearts to part ways with these picks. I'm going to get maybe Cameron Kitchens here. I'm going to get Cameron Kitchens here. And then that should be the end of the draft. And so potentially, and I'm not quite sure how it works with draft picks being drafted and like how they affect the cap, but potentially. We talked about it. Potentially, we could land L'Jarius Sneed or Kendall Fuller. L'Jarius Sneed at 17.5 just on this is looking spooky with my projections, but let's just say we can do it, right? We get L'Jarius at corner. We go to the draft. We got our center. We got a tackle who, doesn't have to be Jordan Morgan, but somebody in that high, late first round, early second round. We do that. And then we get a safety, Cameron Kitchens, who I think is going to be solid. We put him on the other side of Minka, and it's like, hello, I would like to pre-order 1 Lombardi trophy, please. Click, hang it up. That's us. That could potentially be us, And of course, the elephant in the room, and something I haven't spoken about because I've spoken about it for 10 straight videos, is the quarterback position. I don't know, man. I don't know what the cook is with that. I don't know. Is there even, let me do this and then quarterbacks here because, we're going to get every quarterback in the world. Ryan Tannehill, maybe we'll get him. Maybe we'll get Baker. Maybe we'll get Gardner. Maybe we'll get Jacoby. Maybe we'll get one of these guys. But really, 1, I don't want to focus on quarterback in the moment. But 2, we will get a quarterback. Side tangent, but if we don't get a quarterback, we're not going to die because I just gave us a very fantastic mock draft. We created some cap space. We could get L'Jarius Sneed, who's down here somewhere. You could get L'Jarius Sneed as well among the draft class, among the signings, So there's a real potential. And so, whatever happens with Kenny or if we trade for Justin Fields, I don't think we should just because of the fact that if we can get Jackson Powers Johnson, And this is like the real kind of cook here. Let me do this one more mock draft, man. One more mock draft for the Zaya, man. So obviously, Jackson Powers Johnson does go, but I'm living and dying with Marius Mims here. Let me pause it real quick because I know they hate me. The Chiefs took him last time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. 52, boom, boom, offer trade. If the 49ers take him, I'm gonna be sick. They didn't take him, boom, and then boom, we get Zach Frazier. We get the tackle we want too. We get the tackle we want. We get Zach Frazier, and we get Jeremiah Trotter, who is he's a pretty good linebacker. I'm pretty sure is going to be good there. I know they're going to give me an A for this. A minus, B, C for Amarius Mims is crazy. To me, that's a crazy trade. But we get our tackle, center, linebacker, and we could potentially get a corner in free agency with the NFL cap going up with the Steelers making these release. I'm hype. I'm not gonna lie, I'm hype. How long has this video been? We're at like 20 minutes now. I am hype because all the talk has been about quarterback. All the talk has been about like fucking Mac Jones and shit on the Steelers, and I just can't handle it anymore. Shout out to Taylor Swift for helping out with the NFL cap, like whatever it was to make this go up from 224 to 255, like only to help the Steelers too, low key. Like it only helps us. All the other teams, they're at 224 still. Thank you, Taylor. Adam Schefter, thank you for maybe something. Pat McAfee show, fuck it, thank you, Pat McAfee show, for bringing some eyes or somebody, man. I gotta thank somebody because this is huge, and this offseason, this draft, this free agency is so important. Like we can absolutely get right back to it, right back to contention next year, and that's with Kenny Pickett on the team, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I know a lot of people aren't high on him, but I really think our team can be good enough for Kenny Pickett still. Like I really think Kenny Pickett doesn't have to be God. He's coming back healthy. He's gonna do his thing. And if he's horrible, we'll figure it out. But I think the team surrounding Kenny Pickett will be good enough. And if Kenny himself's not good enough, and that's what kills us, and that's what drags us down, once again we'll figure it out. And then we're talking about, we wasted another year on the defense. Like, bro, that's not Kenny Pickett's fault. That's not Kenny Pickett's fault that the Killer Bees couldn't win when they had TJ Watt, because that's what it sounded like. And this video is not about that. I don't want to get into it. So I think that is going to do it for me for this video. I don't even necessarily know what this was. I don't know what I'm going to title it. Eventually when you guys see it, I will pick something out. But the Steelers have all the cap space in the world. The world is ours. The NFL is ours for the taking. And I just hope we take it. So, like I said, I'm going to get out of here. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, do all that fun stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.